Okay, we're going.
Okay.
Ouch. It's Wednesday.
And you've already hurt yourself?
Yeah, I hit my elbow there.
Okay.
I'll be alright.
Okay.
So what's up?
So you didn't even introduce me.
I think people know who you are.
Okay, so thanks for having me.
And plus it's going to be in the title before they even click on it.
Alright, so
It's not going to be a shock.
thanks for having me. I'm here to promote my new book, How to Perfect the Art of Day Drinking During a Pandemic.
How's that going?
It's available at every bookstore that's closed, and also on Audible. I read it myself while day drinking. So, available everywhere you could find it.
All right. Thanks for listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
The end. It's too hot in here.
Oh my God, what do you want me to do about it?
Go back in time.
We don't have central air and not buy a house from 1901? Okay.
Well, you never want to have air conditioning.
Where are you going to put it?
In the house.
Okay, can we not? Okay, because I have two goals in this podcast. The first being for it to be less sad and depressing than the one you did with Donnie.
Ah, yeah, we got a little drunk.
Yeah, right? And secondly, for it to get as many listeners as Joe Rogan's podcast.
Impossible.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, I do. Pretty sure.
No.
I've looked at all the
Listen.
numbers.
Well,
We don't even break into like 3 digits.
2 is good.
For us, yes.
Yeah. That's good. That's not bad.
So, how's the coronavirus treat you?
All right.
Do you want to hear something weird? I got diesel fuel on my lips the other day, and I can't get rid of the taste of it. And then I also wonder if I have coronavirus. Like they said, your taste is one of the first things that goes.
God.
So then I have to keep reminding myself, no, you got diesel fuel in your mouth the other day.
Like what day? How are you still...
Saturday.
So that seems like it'd be a problem.
I don't know.
Did you, like, wash it off?
No.
Oh, well,
Why,
then...
why would I? Of course.
But,
I wonder if it's like stained my lips or something. Because my lips taste bitter or something.
wow. Have you WebMD'd that?
No, I don't have the... I don't know what you want to call it. The courage or the...
Well, okay, let's back up. How did you get diesel fuel in your mouth?
Well, it turns out I work in a shop that has diesel trucks in it. And I was fixing a leak on a truck. And I was under the truck and it dripped into my mouth or on my face. And I wiped my hand across my lips.
And then called it good until you were done doing whatever you had to do?
Basically. Well, I used a dirty rag to wipe it off.
Did it go, like, in your mouth that you tasted it?
Oh, yeah.
What's it taste like?
It's not good. It tastes...
But, like, what's it, like tequila?
No, way worse than tequila.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Does
it
it taste
tastes
like
terrible.
Donnie's stupid bullshit stuff he drinks?
No, even that's better. That's stupid.
What about the stuff my dad drank?
Still,
Wild
that's
turkey,
still better.
any of that kind of stuff?
It just tastes like chemicals, like
Ew.
gross chemicals.
Do you need a doctor's appointment?
What are they gonna do for me?
I don't know.
Wash my mouth?
I'm not a doctor.
I know, Pam.
That's why we don't have air conditioning in our 1901 house.
If you did, if you were, at the very least we'd have air conditioning.
Yeah. Well, we had a fan going and you turned it off.
Because it was too loud.
It's not. People can still hear us.
It's annoying.
Your last Campcast had peepers going in the background the whole
Right.
time.
That's why it was a
As
camp
loud
cast.
as the fan.
This isn't a fan cast.
It could be.
No, nobody wants
That's
to
why
hear
I'm
that.
saying we'll have Joe Rogan's fan base.
We will not ever.
Maybe.
No, we do this once a quarter at best.
Well,
We'd have to do it every week to get like a following or something.
maybe we will.
We'll see. We'll see next Wednesday.
If you're not this argumentative.
If it
Maybe
ain't so
I will.
fucking hot next time.
Well, this is seriously the last day of summer, basically. From here, it just goes downhill.
It could be a little cooler. It's still, well, it says it's 67 degrees outside.
Yeah,
But it has to be close to 90 in here.
maybe.
It's pretty warm.
And this is the coldest room in the house.
Well, it can't be.
It is.
There's no way I'll sleep tonight.
We have no heat sources in here. At all.
Why, are there heaters going in the other rooms?
No.
Oh. Huh. We're off to a smashing start.
Yeah. Your eyes are already bloodshot. Are
I'm
you
tired. Yeah. I get very tired, Pam.
I'm tired too.
I don't know what happened to me when I can't stay up anymore.
Why would you need to? You
Well,
have
at
to go to
camp.
work.
At camp.
Yeah, I know.
Although I think it's too many nights in a row
Mm-hmm.
is what's getting me.
What are you going to do in the winter? Just be out in the garage?
I don't know. We're talking about maybe trying to do some winter camping.
Not like a lot, though.
Why?
Because I don't like to be cold.
I don't remember if you were invited, if we're inviting women folk or not. Might
There
just
was-
be men folk being men.
Okay. You go ahead. And do whatever it is you guys do without women.
Well, we talk.
Have fun.
You know, you heard the
I'm
podcast
sure you
last
talk.
week.
Yeah, right? That was a great time. Maybe you guys can all cry around a fire together.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, you're trying to keep listenership up.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, then what's the point?
I just like to do this.
Oh.
I don't really care how many people listen to it or not.
You like to argue with your wife?
No, I absolutely don't.
I know.
I wish you had, like, if you could throw out more fun topics.
Oh my God.
See, now you're fighting with me.
Oh.
So what do you want to talk about?
So I want to talk about the kids are in school. And I'm 100% amazed at how not a problem at all it is for them to wear masks all day long. Doesn't that amaze you?
Yeah.
Because I
But
can't.
do you suppose they're, like, really, really wearing them hardcore all day? Or it's
Well,
kind of like it slides
sounds
down?
Like, well, maybe, but probably not the older kids. But, like, because
Because I can't go all day.
no,
I couldn't even
God,
imagine.
I can't.
I just go into the store and I'm
Yes,
pissed off in
But
about 5-10
yes,
minutes. My
within-
face is all wet and sweaty.
within 20 minutes, a half hour, my nose is running. I'm pissed off. I can't think straight. I'm just like, oh my God. So I thought Piper would maybe have a problem with it, but like she said that when they're at recess, they can, if they're properly social distanced, they can put the mask down
Like when they're
when they're playing and
throwing a ball to each other.
doing whatever. Yeah. Yeah, because they're touching it. Yeah, I don't know.
Live in the dumbest world ever.
I don't know. I'm not
I can't.
entirely sure.
I can't do it anymore.
I know.
It's just gotten so ridiculous.
But I'm amazed that to talk to her about what possibly might be the worst part of her day doesn't have anything to do with this pandemic shit or masks or any kind of part of that at all. I'm just kind of surprised about that.
Well, I think the good thing about all this, the good thing is,
I
If-
want to ask real quick if anybody can hear our dog snoring in the background. Anyway, go ahead.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
You were going to say the good part about all this
Oh,
is.
hopefully the kids have seen enough of the news and stuff and
Yeah.
the stats that we don't know if we can believe or not. But basically,
Yeah.
nearly no kids have gotten corona and died from just corona. You know, there were some pretty sick kids that I'm having a hard time believing anybody died from the corona to start with. Not that
what,
it's...
like adults?
Yeah, like you just solely got it. You were perfectly healthy.
Oh,
and you got it and just got sick. I mean, it's kind of like when you have heart disease and you get pneumonia or you get flu.
Yeah.
This has gone on forever.
Yeah.
It just is like everything's COVID. I don't. And it was nerve wracking at the beginning because it was so contagious.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm starting to go. I don't think so.
When was our last podcast? Because it was like May, maybe? When we were still kind of like in the thick of things, but also still kind of being like, something doesn't seem quite right. At least, and when we talk about this kind of stuff, really our only perspective is from this area.
So we did one April 29th.
April. Wow.
And May 6th.
Okay, May 6th.
And this is why we're not going to overtake Joe Rogan. Our
right.
listeners completely forget about us.
Baby steps, John.
Well, I mean, when was the last one
Another
before
Bill
that?
Murray
May
movie.
6th.
Baby steps. We were just watching Groundhog Day.
Oh, we did one April 24th, so that's pretty good.
You see?
And then January. Oh, that was January 2019.
All right, well.
We didn't do any. We went from January 2019 to April 24th, 2020.
Well, we had a lot of talk about in April.
The one before that was September of 2018.
Mm-hmm. That's all right. Well, I mean, we're getting the bugs worked out. But anyway.
Okay.
Oh my God, he's snoring so bad. But so we were kind of still in the, like our asshole was still kind of puckering a little bit, like, I don't know, like, should we, what really is this thing, and what are we supposed to be doing, and it's just kind of gone to summer hits, and like I said, our perspective is around here. We still don't have. What do we have? What are in our McKean County?
It's
like 13.
It might
are we
be
still at
It
that?
might be 20 some, but
cases. Period. Not
positive,
sick or dead.
Right. Positive tests.
Just
as far as I know, there's just that one guy that passed away, who was really sick to start with, anyways.
yeah. So it's very hard when we have numbers like that. We don't live in New York City. We don't live in, all these cities that are like crippled with the thing. It's very hard to like, but are they crippled? Like, is it just the breaking news situation every day on TV is like too much to handle. Lester Holt gives me nightmares.
Can't stand that guy.
Tonight, like, it's just, I can't. And what the mountain that they make out of molehills half the time
I can't.
Alarming too. But think about elderly people who are shut in, can't see family for a reason, and then they watch this kind of stuff on TV and they're like 100% scared to death. Like, I don't know.
I hate to say it's all a big like scam.
Well, it's not.
But
the sickness is out there,
but
it's just not around
you get
here.
You get the people that are like, well, 200,000 people have died. It's definitely not a scam.
Right.
And you're like, well, how many people have died? How many more people have died compared to the last 3 years?
Of just flu and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So I saw something that it's like every day 8 people per 100,000 die or something like that. And supposedly we're still on that same track. So, and I can't argue online anymore. Like, I don't even read comments of anything that I post anymore.
Good.
I just don't. I post something and just let it go out onto the ether, and I don't care. But if you post something, like I saw somewhere somebody was saying that there's 8 people per 100,000 that die per day, which is 8 point something, which is in line with all the other years. But then some other guy comes back and says, well, those were just projections. The real numbers aren't in yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well, then how do you know whether it's good or bad?
What?
Like, he's on the other side of it. Like, it's definitely very bad, but the real numbers aren't in yet. Well, then...
How can they not be in yet?
I don't know.
They're screaming it on TV every day.
Of everything, though.
And they're using it to shut shit down.
I don't know. It all hurts my head.
Well, and I
wish it was more like a terrible plague where people turn green and you could definitely tell whether they got it instead of this imaginary shit.
Because I am almost to the point where I don't even believe positives anymore.
Well,
like
they're wrong so often.
Yeah.
The whole thing's just infuriating.
But I also I never laughed so hard than when I saw somebody post that Governor Wolf's, Pennsylvania Governor Wolf's wife must have been caught fucking a bartender or a restaurant owner, because he is going after bars and restaurants so hard, but not other businesses.
I'm having trouble.
Or
I could somewhat understand if they... The only thing that's made sense to me out of the whole restaurant thing is that they're like, you should stop serving... Basically, you have to close at 10 o'clock at night. Because, to be honest...
Shit gets weird.
Well, once people start drinking and when they start hugging and close talking and spitting and when they talk... and
That's only
a lot of people, really. So I suppose it would get worse as opposed to somebody coming in and just sitting at a table and eating their dinner, coming in and sitting at the bar and having a beer and leaving. If, they stay there all night till midnight. Because if you're... Oh, excuse me. If you're in a bar past 10, 11 o'clock, you're just drinking. It's not like you're in there eating. You're socializing. So, but on the flip side, what has everybody been doing that doesn't go to a bar? They're all gathering at somebody's house and doing the exact same thing with no mask, no social...
abiding the law.
Only the dorks are.
Oh.
Seriously, if you don't have it, if you have went through this whole pandemic and you didn't have any friends that you had to go over and see or came over and saw, and you felt a little weird about breaking the whole law or whatever the hell it is, suggestion about being close, then when this is over, you need to find yourself some friends.
Well, a lot of
That's
people...
no way to live life.
Yeah, but a lot of people have been terrified into that way of life.
Why?
Because they might hurt somebody else by being around them. That's the whole thing. That was the genius of a lot of it was...
You don't want to give it to somebody else.
Yes.
I guess I get that. You don't want to come home and give it to your older family member, but...
Or go to your neighbor's house and potentially give it to their grandmother or just
But
whatever.
Again, you always did that, though. Like, if you didn't feel good, you didn't go to Grandma's house on Christmas because you didn't want to get Grandma the flu.
I know, but by the time you don't feel good, it's too late, they say. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's been terror tactics from day one. But somehow, the kids miraculously are dealing well with it, and thank you, baby Jesus.
It doesn't make any sense. You're getting quieter and farther away, by the way.
Sorry. Maybe everyone wants to hear you.
Nobody wants to hear me. Not one person. I'm just completely over the whole thing. It's making me angrier and angrier, and with all the other bullshit that's going on to go with it.
Yeah.
I know
because you have a mask that says "over this shit."
I do, but I always wear it
Inside out. I know.
when I go in somewhere.
Look at you being a rebel buying it and then never wear it that way.
You know what's weird? I started off, unless somebody was really hard on it, wearing a mask nowhere. And then I finally just am like, I
didn't want to get people in trouble.
Well, and the more I went on, like, nobody's going to say shit about Shinola. Especially around here. There might be a few people, but also, I don't want to scare the living shit out of old people that are worried about, getting it or whatever, even though they don't wear their mask right.
But they're trying.
I don't know. And then when you see them just at the grocery store, they're overweight and they just have a cart full of Ho-Hos and Doritos and...
Well, they're quarantined.
Right. You're just like...
Don't we all?
Oh, the least of my problems is the potential of getting corona for me. I don't know. I just had it. I'm going to go to restaurants. I want things to be open. I don't want everything to be weird everywhere you go.
Are you going to loot them if they're not?
No. And all that shit. I just don't want to deal with society. It's gotten too weird.
Yeah.
And I know almost no one, and I mean almost no one. I can count probably on one hand the people who are really worried about it and are shutting down their, where they go and what they do 100%. And a lot of the people that were pretty hardcore, like, I'm really worried about this, especially in the past couple months, have just been like, all right. Like, I can think of a couple people in particular who were, at the beginning of this, were super, whatever you want to call it.
Cautious.
Yeah, and really worried, and don't come in my house unless you have a mask on, or, wash your hands, and all that's gone right out the window. I've noticed people shaking hands more lately. That didn't happen for the longest time. Everybody's just doing this weird
elbow bump
thing. Yeah, I'm telling you, when 4th of July was the deal breaker for me, when I'm like, okay. And we might have talked about this last time. Or,
no.
If Donnie and I talked about it last time.
Oh. You guys just talked about sad shit.
At 4th of July, where you're not allowed to have any gathering of any sort bigger than, 20, 25 people. So we just had a steady flow of a campfire of 10 to 15 people, and it's not like we were trying to keep it that size. It's just what size it was. And it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's probably 5 or 6 people. I have no idea who they are. Nice people, a few of our friends from all over the place, and they take out a bottle of moonshine or whatever, and everybody's passing it around, taking a drink out of it.
Gross.
And and on a regular year, that's gross.
No, for this girl, any time in life, that's gross.
Because the moonshine or passing it around?
Both.
Everybody does it.
That's not me.
But the next day, the one camp neighbor comes over, and
I've seen where some of those mouths have been.
Yes.
No, thank you.
But he comes over in the morning. He's like, "How you doing this morning?" And I'm like, "Okay." I'm just sitting here like, we have made the biggest mistake of our lives, passing that bottle around last night. We all have coronavirus now. And he's like, "Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I woke up. Like, oh no, what did we do?" And then, that was 3 months ago.
But also in that same day, I'm at the pool with kids, passing a pool noodle around and blowing in the end of it to bust water out of it, like to make a fountain. Like, it's, how are you, I don't know.
I just don't, I'm just, what do I want to say? I'm just not worried about it anymore at all.
I still do, but not to where it impedes with my daily...
I feel like we're doing way much more damage socially, depriving people of social interactions.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's people that have missed almost a whole year of their family's life, where, if you're like your mom.
I know, we're like 6 months in.
Yeah, your mom's like in a little prison,
Yeah.
basically. She might as well be.
Yeah.
Nobody's let in. She's not let out.
Right.
Like, that's awful.
That
can't be good for you.
No. And I can take stuff now, though. Before, you couldn't. There was this crazy situation where for like a minute you could ship stuff to them. Well, then it was nope, because the packages had to go through so many hands to make it to them. You could no longer ship anything to them. You couldn't, nothing. And then she's calling me going, I need things that they can't get, just toilet paper, stuff like that. They won't get them for us because they used to, every week they'd go to Walmart and everybody got the shit they needed and whatever, personal hygiene stuff or whatever. And then all this stuff hit, and for some reason they couldn't, they meaning the staff, would no longer get what they needed and stuff. And it's just like, oh my gosh. So then you were just in this weird, like, well, use a Kleenex, I guess. I mean, they must have at some point provided, because I didn't hear from her
that she couldn't
wipe her ass, you know what I mean? But then in the last couple months, yes, I need toilet paper, I want my snacks, I want, everything. So it's kind of eased up some, but they still will not do any shopping for them. But they can't leave. So it's...
prison.
Yeah, kind of. They can go outside in their little thing, but that's going to end soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's getting shitty. It's going to get shitty. So
the other thing I'm tired of is everybody talking about the corona. It's
just like we are?
Every conversation that you have with anybody.
Well, how can
anywhere,
you not? It's gripping the entire world.
And it's just the same conversations over and over and over.
All right, so what do you want to talk about?
And over again.
So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. This is your podcast. You're the guest.
What do you mean? You asked me to do it.
I got to do one every Wednesday night.
Oh.
If I'm going to get those numbers up.
You should have one with the dogs next week. Maybe you could listen to him snore.
Maybe. So what else is going on in your life, Pam?
Not a whole lot.
Well, I guess we'll just keep talking about the coronavirus. I'm just kidding.
You're hard.
What were you going to say?
Camp has been fun.
It has been. It's been a good summer.
Mm-hmm.
We probably have one of the best. The irony of this year is that we've had one of the best years for weather.
Yeah.
We almost had no rain from May to, well, last weekend was one of the first weekends we actually had couldn't be outside rain.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a couple storms here or there all through the summer, but nothing that would cancel events.
No.
Nothing that would hamper.
Not like there were events.
Yeah, like the first time in my life that it didn't rain all week of the fair.
Yeah.
When they were going to have the fair.
Right. They didn't have it. Yeah.
Races. They could have had the races every single Saturday night without fail.
Yeah.
But nope. Everything shut down. Concerts, nothing got rained out.
Nope.
Golf tournaments, never rained out. Football games, baseball games, never rained out. And here
So, did I hear the NFL is actually going to start this week?
who gives a fuck?
Yeah, fuck them all.
I can't. I'm just over the professional sports people.
I don't give a shit if you play or not. Never have.
Like how...
And especially now.
How arrogant.
Yeah.
To protest something that we fully don't understand ourselves.
Yeah.
We're going to deprive you of getting to watch us do something. You pompous fucks.
Well,
go
we
ahead
sit
and
back
cancel.
and get paid.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and cancel your job for good, you fuck. Go get a regular job.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck you.
So tired of it. And then that whole Jacob Blake thing, that guy can go fuck himself. That guy is a piece of fucking shit. I don't give a fuck.
Do we have full-on verified facts on
the day of the event? We had the guy was a piece of shit.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
But you didn't have to get shot. He didn't have to get shot. You're exactly right.
Yep.
When the cops were trying to arrest him, he could have just stopped there and let them do their fucking job. But instead he
Because
fought with
for
them.
the single fact that his children were in the car. Should have been his main concern to do what he needed to do and then battle it out in court or whatever.
I'm willing to say
I don't care who's going to want to fight with me about it.
that there is a problem that, in these, I don't even know what to say, in the black communities, there probably 100% is some sort of bias.
Oh, yeah.
That black people have a really hard time. And I don't necessarily think it's exactly black people. I think it's poor people are trapped in some. I think poor white people have it just as bad.
True story.
If you watch Before They Pulled Cops,
nobody's going to say that though.
But when you watch Cops, it was a pretty good mixture of all races, and the common theme was
poverty.
They were poor drug abusers. Mm-hmm. They were usually whacked out of their fucking minds. Mm-hmm. Or
acting a fool.
Mentally fucking unstable in some way, shape, or form. Which comes from the uncertainty of not knowing whether you're going to have a house to live in next week. So, I mean, I get that it's against them. Also, you can't be a fucking... You can't go to somebody's house that has a PFA against you.
Yes.
And be a piece of shit and take their stuff, and you can't fight with the cops, and you can't not let them arrest you on sexual assault and other charges. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. You're a piece of shit. I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. And then that other dipshit in fucking Rochester, fuck that guy too. Everybody's protesting over it. Just so fucking tired of this shit.
In Rochester?
Yeah, the one, because what kills me about all this stuff is when I first see the story, because I pay attention to the news during the day and stuff, and the first thing I saw out of Rochester was mostly peaceful protests erupted last night over the police officers putting a plastic bag over the man's head, putting a knee in his back and pulling the bag tight until he was dead. And I was like, what the fuck? And there's a video of it. And the dude is walking down the street naked, to start with. He's high on fucking PCP or something. Out of his goddamn fucking mind. And he's spitting at the officers because he said he had the coronavirus and they're trying to arrest the naked dude. Yeah. And then the other thing is it said that they put a plastic bag over his head, put a knee in his back, pulled the bag tight, and laughed about it as the guy died. So, you watch the video, the dude's being a complete piece of shit. He's out of his fucking mind. He's naked, walking down the street. The cops kind of surround him. They tell him to get on the ground. The guy gets on the ground, and then he starts spitting at him. And then they put one of those...
It's a spit hood.
Yeah, and it's
standard
not,
procedure.
It's not a plastic bag. It's a mesh cloth type thing, breathable. It's in every prison, everywhere. You can even see through it.
Yeah.
And they put it on his head because he's spitting, and all of a sudden the dude just passes out, basically. Maybe because he's high as fuck, overdosed, whatever. And the cops, they're arresting a naked dude. I don't care what your job is. If you're arresting a naked dude, you're going to laugh a little bit. And then one of the cops says, well, I guess we found the naked guy that was breaking the windows. How many other naked guys are there out here? Mm-hmm. And they all kind of laugh, which is funny. Mm-hmm. It's not degrading that guy in any way, shape, or form. It's like, I think we found our naked suspect. Mm-hmm. You know, like this, he fits the MO. And then they burn down that fucking place and do all the crazy rioting and shit. And then the other one, the one that started it all was that, George Floyd dude. Mm. Just there's one thing, one little fact that is eluding every news story. And I think this would make a whole lot, it would have, well, I don't know, it probably wouldn't have changed anything. As awful as it was to watch that guy kneel on that dude, for however long he knelt on him, doesn't seem right. But the more I thought about it, if the guy's out of his mind on drugs and going crazy, I don't know what else you're supposed to do. That's what I love about all these problems. Like, okay, well, what should you have done? Like the Jacob Blake guy.
Didn't they
But
tase him, George Floyd, and it didn't have an effect? I
don't know about
I
that.
don't remember the.
But the crucial fact in that whole thing was he died 30 minutes later in the hospital. They loaded him in the ambulance. He wasn't dead. He had passed out. And they took him to the hospital. And he died at the hospital of a drug overdose, basically. The coroner's report said, if we just found this dude in his house and didn't know this backstory, 100% we would say he died of a drug overdose. Basically, something about whatever he was on makes it so you can't breathe, your fucking shit shuts down or whatever. And, but there was no, like, he didn't have any broken bones in his neck. There was nothing of, you know what I mean? None of that shit. No bruising on the neck. He died in the hospital 30 minutes later. You can't, no matter what I did to you right here.
Are you planning?
No, what I'm saying is, if I suffocated you here, and like they're like, he choked her out here, and you get to the hospital, and if you left here alive, I didn't kill you.
As hard as you try.
No, what I'm saying is, like, so it'd be impossible to charge somebody for murder unless, like, I shot you or I broke your fucking neck or something, and then 30 minutes later you died. But he had like 4 times the amount of drugs in, and all these ones, like, could the police officers done something better?
I don't know. I was just gonna say is I don't know the answer to any of this, but rioting and looting is not the answer. What does that help?
Nothing.
We're bringing awareness to it. Guess what, motherfucker? It's on every news story 24/7. I think we have awareness. You can stop your shit now.
I'm just over it all. I can't even.
I just want someone. I wish we had callers. I'd be like, callers. Somebody
like
call
phone
in.
callers?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like dog callers.
No.
I was like, what?
No, like callers to our podcast show.
Oh.
Where they could call in and be like, this is what the rioting and looting is doing to help the cause.
There's nobody that can make that argument.
I know.
With any logic.
No.
There's not a single person.
Nope.
Like, how does burning down a Target help anything?
Right. Stealing everything out of it because the corporations are taking money from the poor. No.
And what kills me is when they're burning down these places, they've just destroyed the job of 20, 30,
yes.
40, 50 people.
Right. Doesn't that fly exactly in the face of your argument?
I mean, you're hurting the person that needs a job the most.
Yes.
Well, they should be paying them more.
Well,
shut the fuck up. They have a job. And maybe it was a job on their way to being a manager
yes.
or learning retail. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna get my own store.
Right.
I worked in an electronics place, or
everybody starts
I open
somewhere.
an online store, or whatever.
They keep them oppressed.
Or maybe they work there forever,
right.
and they have benefits, and they don't make the greatest amount of money.
If that's the case, they're happy there.
Yeah, and they have enough money to live a life. Like, I don't know where
a lot of the corporations that are so bad provide education to further.
Mm-hmm. And insurance.
But so...
Like, what kills me is people are always bitching about, like, Walmart and stuff. I mean, in our area especially, Walmart's a decent job for somebody with absolutely no skills.
Yeah.
Like, they're not good at anything. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You didn't go to school for anything. You didn't grow up doing a trade. You just are a body that needs a job. And you go there, and they'll pay you semi-decent for a starting out wage.
Yeah.
And then if you work there a little bit, you get insurance. And they make fair money.
Yeah.
And you have opportunities to become a manager of your department or the whole store or move to another store.
So, you know how you're always calling out hashtags like way too late to see if people are still listening or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we should have somebody, whenever you post this, please try to comment to answer the question we have. How does the rioting and looting help the cause?
You're going to have to read the comments because I don't.
You do too, because you answered a comment.
Not usually.
Yes, you do.
Only if they're funny.
Well, then you read them to know whether they're funny or not.
I guess.
Come on, don't act a celebrity.
I read them.
Okay.
I just don't respond to them.
Well,
I'm just
that's
like,
a different thing.
I just am like,
altogether.
I'm not going to argue with you about this.
Yeah, no,
Like-
no, of course not. Nobody argues with fools. You will debate someone that has a differing opinion, but not argue. Like, it's just stupid. Everybody has their own viewpoints, and this is ours.
We have the same
But-
viewpoint?
Me and you?
Yeah.
I think so.
You know what? I think I'm going to be for rioting and looting.
Oh,
I'm going to switch it up.
why are you
So we can
argumentative
have-
tonight? Because you're hot?
No, it would be point.
Put some ice on your balls. I don't know what else to tell
We
you.
could do point counterpoint then.
No.
Hashtag ice on your balls if you're still listening.
Okay, no. I don't want to do counterpoint with you, because you just get mean.
I do.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm never mean.
I know. You're an angel. Almost a saint.
Look at your sarcasm. Ice on your balls. Is that what it was?
I don't know. Thought we had a real good conversation going there till you
We did.
got mean.
What?
See, getting mean again.
Oh my god.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so anyways, yeah, all these looter people destroy all these businesses and destroyed the economic base of this area
Yeah.
that they probably needed themselves. Well, although it does seem like a lot of fucking rich, dumb white kids that are doing a lot of this shit.
yeah. A lot of stuff just doesn't make sense.
Oh my god, did you see the pictures of the Antifa people that were arrested in Portland?
Mm-mm. Well, wait.
I can't-
Back up
I'm
a
not gonna
second,
find it.
because I was going to ask, how do you know they're rich? From what you're seeing in...
From what you see on a lot of the... Well, I don't want to say rich.
Oh,
I just want to say they're middle class.
not impoverished, you're saying.
Yeah, they're
But
not.
how do you know from what you're seeing, I guess?
I guess I don't know. You can just tell by the way they look.
Okay.
That,
Gotcha.
and you can tell by the clothes they're wearing that they're not, in rags, long story short.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just it just appears, and a lot of the people that I see posting things online are the people who haven't ever even touched poverty, let alone know what it is. You know what I mean? It's always somebody that has I don't want to say been taken care of their whole life, but it's always these younger people that haven't quite experienced life for all that it is yet, and they have this warped idea of what is and isn't right, and there's a lot of hypocrisy in what they wear and what they work. I mean, they're using, or I'm sorry, where they work and what they wear, and they're posting nonstop on an iPhone that they don't pay for, that was made by Chinese fingers in China, and they're screaming about the dangers and evils of capitalism when
And
they're
rich
one of
white
the
people.
right, and they're one of the people that benefits the most from it. And I don't see these people selling their iPhone and donating the money to the soup kitchen, or foregoing their college's educations, to go work in Honduras and help poor people or something. Like it's bananas.
Yeah.
And then it's impossible. I was thinking about this morning in the shower. I don't know why it popped into my head, but I try and watch the CNN or the MSNBC or any of those other ones that are more of a liberal leftist leaning, just be like, maybe I'm missing out on something. And I realized that for the most part, they don't bring somebody on as an quote unquote expert and give you some facts. It's their opinion on why that thing is right or wrong. So it'd just be like me pulling you out of thin air and you giving me your opinion on what color paint is the best color.
We should do that.
What I'm saying is, you could back up with facts what brand might be the best kind because of how it flows or whatever, but that also might be just for you or your technique.
Sure.
Somebody else might like another brand because it dries differently or whatever.
Also still an opinion, yes.
Right, but it's an opinion based in some fact that fits your situation, whereas all these other people are brought on and they're going, so tell us why the color blue is terrible. And they go on long form and you're like, you can't argue it. You can't say anything opposite of it because they have an opinion that's not based in anything you can argue. They're saying the color blue is terrible because it just is. Obviously it is. You look at it, it's an awful color. And you're like, wait, I kind of like blue. And then they're like, racist. And you're like, wait, what?
You shouldn't use blue in that. You should use, like, red. Because right now, blue is controversial as well.
Well, any color. But on the other side, I feel like it's more of a conversation when I listen to more of the conservative stuff. It's more of a conversation of, I think this is the best brand paint because it dries the best, it lasts the longest, and the colors are brighter. So it's something that's based in, it's still like an opinion, but it's based in some reality of facts that you can look at and go,
it has some merit to it.
Yeah, where you can look at it and go, no, that doesn't dry fast, or oh yeah, it does dry fast, or you know what I mean? I just feel like there's a lot of weird arguments on the left side in particular that you're just like, what? What? And it's like tearing down the statues and all that stuff. It doesn't even.
Well, weren't a lot of them 100% random that had nothing to do with any type of
Yeah, I mean, there's
oppression whatsoever, or not?
There's two things. There is some fact or whatever you want to call it in around the time in the 60s when civil rights was coming around, or whatever you want to call it. Could you grab me one of those too? That in the South, and this is allegedly, supposedly, I haven't actually researched out myself, but I've heard it enough times that I think it's relatively true, that around the time that the civil rights was coming around in the 60s, everybody down there was still like racist as fuck, and they went around erecting these Civil War Southern figure statues as kind of a fuck you to the civil rights movement. They were super hastily built and cheaply made and stuck up.
Okay.
So if that's true, I can see where people would be like, well, that's kind of bullshit. Like, but there's a process for getting those taken down. And that process isn't you and a bunch of your fucking ninja dressed buddies showing up and tearing them down.
If you're pissed off, you're not going to have any time for that process.
But the problem is somebody's telling them that they have to be pissed off about that. And instead of trying to solve the real problem of actual racism, they're I don't even know what to say. It's like destroying blue cars because you don't like the color blue again. You know what I mean? Like, there, we destroyed that blue car. And you're like, well, it was just a car that was blue. And nothing's different now.
There's just no good answer or end to any of this. None.
Well, there is.
Defund the police? No.
They just have to start shooting people. I hate to say it, but this rioting and shit has to fucking end.
It has to.
You can't have these mobs just showing up and harassing and abusing and assaulting just people that are eating their dinner, like it's been happening in Pittsburgh and Rochester and different places, or that complete dog shit show that's going on out in Portland and LA and everywhere. Like it's bananas. I see this happening and I'm just thinking, like, this can't be our country. Like, it can't be our country.
I just don't understand
And then
the point.
And then when you find out a lot of these people are getting paid to do this, it's even more enraging.
That's a whole nother thing, yeah. Okay, so I had originally said we were not going to talk sad and depressing like you did with Donnie. Be like regular John.
What?
Be like regular John.
It's too fucking hot in here to be regular John.
Oh my god.
See, this is what the other problem with this summer was. It was a hot summer.
That's awesome.
Got everybody
That's
all cranky-lanky.
I wasn't cranky. You should be happy. It's summer.
Yeah, I guess.
Winter is way too long.
There was a lot of nice nights this year.
Yeah.
But I don't like to be hot.
Oh.
See, all my buddies that live down south, they're like, you got to move down here. Hard no, dude.
Hard yes.
I know you would
there
go
in
in
a
a second, but I can't.
Oh.
It's too hot for me. Maybe I'd adjust, but I die. I just sweat. I'm made for like 50, 60 degree weather. That's just like my perfect. Like if it was 50, 60, 50 to 70 year round, if there's a place like that, I will move there. That'd be perfect.
Somebody should let us know where that would be.
Because I don't really like...
We don't drop into negative 20.
Yeah, like 50
I'm
at
tired of
night,
that
70
shit.
during the day. I want to just always be comfortable in pants.
Okay, who listening lives in 50 to 70 degree weather year round? Or, okay, summer can be hotter, right?
No.
Oh my god.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Christ, John, get a fucking air conditioner.
Can we get one?
Fuck. We have one. We have a window one. Would you like me to haul it up now in September and put it in a window somewhere?
It's too late.
Okay, well, quit your bitching.
Can't you see the sweat rolling off my forehead right now?
I don't care. This is the one last night, probably, ever.
I'm sure we'll get more nice nights.
Until next spring.
No, it stays pretty nice all the way into October. It gets a little cooler at night. We'll have some nice days.
Okay.
We'll check in next Wednesday when we do another podcast how the weather was. And you'll be like, you were right, John. It was very nice this week.
Okay. We'll see.
It does kind of suck that camping season's coming over. Or
Yeah.
almost ending.
I know.
We can probably squeak out about a month. Yeah. But the wood consumption goes up tremendously in this next month.
Yeah. Well, now we have the table heater. We need other heaters too.
I think we just need a big fire. Oh, well, we've gone just about an hour.
Okay. Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's a true story. And I'm sweating to death.
Oh my god. You're gonna be okay.
I'm just uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's just too hot right in this particular spot.
Okay.
There's no breeze. It's just hot.
Okay. Like I said, we could have kept the fan on.
But
It wasn't
then
that
it would have
loud.
been super loud in the
Oh
background.
my god.
All right.
If you're still listening, hashtag what can it be?
People are actually right. Hashtag what can it be?
Hashtag quit your bitching.
Oh, stop it.
It's almost winter.
Can't wait.
What?
I like
Stop
kind of
it.
a winter
What?
situation. Yeah, I do.
Oh my god. Have we ever met?
Yes.
Did we discuss things before we got married
No,
13,000 years ago?
Mentally retarded. We're just like, hey,
I like you.
you want to do this? Sure. Do we like any of the same stuff? I don't know. Let's find out.
You're such a dick.
But anywho, and from last week's episode, I'm not going to post this until the next morning, even though I don't think there's anything in this one that we need to edit out.
I don't think so.
So I can probably just post it.
Yeah.
But I always am going to give it till the next morning now. Just a little 12-hour delay.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't call anybody out, do anything crazy.
Nope.
We're good.
So we're probably good on this one.
Yeah.
But anywho, well.
So everyone, enjoy your last warm evening, probably for a while. So you're saying when we're doing this next Wednesday?
Every Wednesday we have to.
Every Wednesday, just me and you? I mean, couldn't you like con some neighbors into it also?
Maybe.
People are going to get tired of hearing
Nobody
me.
wants to do it. It's kind of funny. Nobody ever wants to do it. And then if you get them to sit down and do it, like time.
They're fine.
Time. Well, how long was that one Donnie and I did?
Like 3 hours of sad and crying.
But I finally had said to Donnie at some point, well, we had stopped it. At some point in there, we had stopped it.
Oh.
And
You couldn't tell.
We went, I don't even remember what we did. We went to the bathroom or
Probably
something. And I'm like, we've gone 2.5 hours. He's like, what? Like, yeah, it's been 2.5 hours. He's like, no way. Like, yep, we've been sitting here shooting the shit for 2.5 hours. It goes by super quick, and
so hashtag Roybert do a podcast.
He won't.
You have to make him. He'd be funny. He'd laugh.
Maybe we can get somebody to do a campcast this weekend.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think it probably would be funny to put that other microphone in the middle of the big table.
Yeah.
And get 4 or 5 people around the table, but
yeah.
I worry it'd be too many people trying to talk at the same time, or
Well, it's all right.
maybe not. I don't know.
Nobody cares. They don't want to just hear us.
True, but
Our tens of listeners are demanding other people.
I haven't even looked to see how many of the other ones got. What I just posted it last week and then retracted parts of it and then reposted it because we got a little too drunk.
That's all right.
But
I don't think we're slurring or anything.
no, we're fine. No, I didn't mean we got too drunk. I meant.
No, yeah, I know. You were talking about you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm ready for bed.
Me too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.